Hi, the numbers that you can see in front are the amount in pence spent by 56 customers who have visited a shop in an evening. Now, when you look at these numbers, do you think that they make sense to you? Obviously not. They just appear like an array of numbers which give you no information and no clue. What should we do to understand this data? This data, as it is uncomprehendable, is raw data. When I arrange this data in such a manner that it makes sense to me, I use information technology. This is called statistics. This question will be dealing with this information, how I can organize it, and how can I make it comprehensible. As you see these numbers here on the screen, these are the amount in spend by people who have visited a shop. Now, the first thing that I need to do here is to find out from this information which is the smallest amount spent by a customer. As you see, when I go through this data, the smallest amount spent in pence is 40. I have already highlighted that. Next, to find out the amount spent highest, that also is highlighted here. It is 560. Now it makes sense to me a little bit. The amount which is least spent and the amount which is most spent by 56 customers who have visited the shop. Now how can I make this data more understandable? What should I do that this data makes more sense to me? What I do is I make two groups here. I try to divide my data into groups so that my data is more precise. The groups that I make here is, I make a group from 0 to 99. This is the amount spent in pence from 0 to 99, amount spent in pence from 100 to 199, and so on and so forth till amount spent from 500 to 599. As I go across the data given, I see that there are 9 people who spent between 0 to 99, 10 who spent between 100 and 199, so on and so forth, till I have 4 people who spent from 500 to 599. Now as you see this frequency table gives some sense to what my data wants to speak. Now if I want to make more sense out of this data, what I can do is, I can just highlight the data which I have written in the form of a grouping and go on insert, go to this column and click on the bar chart. Now this bar chart gives you a very clear-cut idea about what was the data. This was the data, the numbers, some of them have been overlapped by the graph as you can see. Now these numbers were absolutely not comprehensible when they were just given to me in a site. When I group them, they make little sense to me, and when the groups are changed into a bar graph, they make more sense to me, because this bar graph, it speaks to me. It gives me a clear-cut idea about what is the information. This bar graph clearly tells me that the amount spent between 200 to 299 was maximum. Also it tells me that there were 16 people who spent this amount between 200 and 299. Now if I want to figure out what was the amount which was spent least, was the amount between 500 to 599 pence which was spent by 4 people only. Now you can see the difference between this bar graph and this raw data. This is raw data because it gives me not much of information as I look at it.
I hope you have understood this. Thank you.